With the recent announcement that we're getting a fully dedicated Kingdom Hearts panel at D23, pretty much all of us had the same general idea. We might sound a little crazy for thinking so, but again, not really. Like I said in my last video, it's only fair to assume that if we are getting a dedicated Kingdom Hearts panel for D23, they're probably doing like one of three different things. They're advertising the inevitable Kingdom Hearts Fortnite collab, because we're all getting a new Gaming Legends season situation coming out soon. They are advertising the Kingdom Hearts collection coming to Nintendo Switch 2, because that's going to be a major thing to get a lot more people into Kingdom Hearts before Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out. And then, of course, lastly, the most obvious one is to get that new major next Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. But it's going to be of the Disney variety. We're finally going to get full Disney focus, right? Because that's the primary thing that we were lacking in our first two trailers ever for Kingdom Hearts 4, was the Disney aspect of it. It was strictly Kingdom Hearts. It was strictly that Final Fantasy half of it that we've been getting in those trailers, right? And in this most recent one, it was the very same situation. We got to look at Donald and Goofy for a split second, and then we was right back to the action in Shibuya. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, I think it is more than fair to assume that this would be potentially the best time to get a full dedicated Kingdom Hearts World, a Disney World trailer for 4, right? Now, one thing that immediately came to mind is, what Disney World could we possibly be getting first? And you got to think about this. There's a lot of potential things that could factor into this, right? What they're advertising at D23, because there's probably, you know, a lot of projects that we don't know about, or like, you know, upcoming sequels and things like that that we haven't seen much of yet, and, you know, things that we haven't even really thought about, you know what I'm saying? And then also, you know, things that we do know about that are being advertised that might also come into play to justify showcasing something at D23, right? So there's a lot of factors at play here. But if there was any time to get a true trailer for a Disney World, just like at previous D23s, where we got the Toy Story world and the Monsters Inc. world in both years, 2017 and 2018, leading into Kingdom Hearts 3, I think it would make plenty of sense to go ahead and see our first major Disney World reveal at this conference here, right? So if they are showing off Kingdom Hearts 4, we are absolutely getting that Disney trailer. The question is, which world are we going to see first? Now, I have a set list here of 3 primary worlds and 2 potential runner-up worlds that may or may not come into play, right? Because, you know, you got to remember, like, at D23, they were showing, or was it a D23 that we saw Big Hero 6? I don't know. Who knows? There's probably going to be worlds in there that we didn't even consider because we just haven't thought about that aspect of Disney in a while. But regardless, there could be factors at play, and there's reasons that I'm thinking of what I'm thinking of here, right? Let me start with the runner-ups first, because I'm not 100% sure on these until we get clarification that these things might show up at D23, right? The first world that potentially came to mind was an Incredibles world, right? And the only reason that I'm thinking that is because we got to remember, we have to keep in mind that they are working on an Incredibles 3 movie, right? And because of that, you know, we haven't seen Incredibles 2 in about, I believe, 8 years now, right? Because it came out in 2018. So, you know, after, I think we're about to hit the anniversary for the release day of Incredibles 2, 8 years ago. And because of that, you know, it's been a long time, and I know Pixar's busy, you know what I'm saying? I know they were working on Hoppers, they were working on Toy Story 5, but I know Incredibles 3 is definitely a big one that they're not going to pass up again, right? So you know, considering that, you know, Incredibles 3 could be a major project that they are working on currently and could potentially have ready within the next year or so. And one of the best ways to, you know, put that in front of a lot of people would be to add a world in Kingdom Hearts and get, you know, that would definitely get a lot of people more excited about the prospect of seeing another Incredibles movie. You know what I'm saying? But again, that one's kind of a shot in the dark kind of situation because, you know, again, the distance between Incredibles 1 and 2 was far. Like, that was a ridiculous distance between those two. You know what I'm saying? Like, being a child and Incredibles being one of my favorite movies as a kid, and then being a graduate out of high school for like a year, and Incredibles 2, like that's the most ridiculous distance I think I've ever seen for anything. You know, like that's one of those things that we never thought we would see again, right? But I don't think the distance would be nearly as bad this time for the next movie. Or maybe it would, who knows? But again, that's just a thought I considered, right? The next thing that I have considered is Zootopia. And the only reason for that is because, you know, again, we're looking at a situation in which during prime development of Kingdom Hearts 4, they were working on and releasing Zootopia 2. And Zootopia that's a fat ass Disney IP, brother. That is a massive ball. You know what I'm saying? Of just a massive explosion of money for Disney. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and obviously, you know, the original Zootopia is a good movie, you know what I'm saying? And so obviously it was inevitable that it was going to get that second one, which was going to do incredibly well, which it did. And so because of the general timing and because of, you know, just general game development, how much time that takes, I wouldn't be surprised if there were talks to include Zootopia in some way in Kingdom Hearts 4, you know? And again, this is definitely one of those hit or miss things, but I think, you know, given the fact that we are in Quadratum and we're looking more towards the realism aspect, it wouldn't be all that crazy to see, you know, these cartoonish but realistic animals running around, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, this one could be a ridiculous reach, and I'm okay with that being a reach, you know? It doesn't really make a difference to me if Zootopia is there or not. If it's not there, whatever. If it is there, cool. But that's just a thought I had because of the come up, okay? Now, we move on to the Prime 3. And all of these have a reason for why I believe they could be at D23 as the primary world, right? The first one that comes to mind is Moana. And there's two reasons for that. One, we've had Moana 2 and a live action remake of Moana released in between the development of Kingdom Hearts 4. There is almost zero doubt in my mind that Moana is going to have a world in Kingdom Hearts. I would be beside myself. Absolutely beside myself if Moana was not present in Kingdom Hearts 4, okay? If it's going to be the first one that they showcase, I don't know. But one of the reasons that I'm thinking that is because literally at this point in time, Moana 2, or the Moana live action movie released this week. It just came out. So I would not be shocked if they were like, hey, you know, make sure you're, you know, catching up on your Moana because you're going to be real interested in this. And we see that Moana trailer. And on top of that, it was heavily speculated that the first, like, new Keyblade that we saw, the, like, fire and water Keyblade, could be, it could have been one of two things. It could have been a Moana-based Keyblade, or it could have been a Elemental-based Keyblade. One of the two. And I think solely due to, like, the general popularity of, you know, Moana, I would definitely lean towards Moana first, if we're being completely honest, to be the primary world that might have came from. And because of the recency bias, and because they definitely were probably in talks about Moana being a world in Kingdom Hearts 2 during the development or release of Moana 2, I would not be shocked in the slightest if we could potentially be seeing a Moana world revealed first, because that is huge, and it's one of the more recent things that, you know, Disney has put in front of us within the last couple months, besides, like, Toy Story, you know what I'm saying? And we just got Toy Story, you know? I mean, if we got Toy Story again as a world, cool, but I feel like that would be a little danced out, considering that we just walked away from that. Like, the novelty won't be as tough anymore, right? But yeah, that is why I'm thinking Moana definitely has the potential to be one of the first worlds revealed to us, right? The second one, because they have been kind of working on rebuilding it a little bit, is definitely Star Wars, right? I'm thinking because it was in technicality, if we're getting technical, Star Wars, specifically probably Endor, was the first world revealed for Kingdom Hearts 4 because it was in the initial trailer back in 2022 in, secrets. It was, not secret, but anybody, who paid close enough attention could see the AT foot on the ground in that trailer. It was kind of obvious that that's what they were kind of hinting towards, being the fact that we are going to Quadratum, which is realism based, and the most realism based franchise that they have outside of another one is Star Wars, and it's one of the most fitting things that they could throw Sora into that would make sense for Kingdom Hearts 4. It is the biggest IP that they have by and far, so it would make more sense than ever for that to be revealed. I personally would I think it would be a lot smarter, in my personal opinion, for them to save that as one of the last worlds they reveal, if they reveal that world at all. I would hope that they would have learned lessons from what happened with Kingdom Hearts 3 and showcasing simply way too much. I think we knew pretty much every world that we were going to in Kingdom Hearts 3 before we got there. And that was ridiculous. And because we probably have about a full year, or more than that, a year and a half before we probably even receive the game, I think it would be kind of ridiculous to showcase Star Wars first. But at the same time, it's the most obvious one, so it also wouldn't be that ridiculous. It's kind of flip-flopping in my mind right now. It makes sense, but I don't want it to make sense, if that makes sense. Isn't that ridiculous? Either way, I feel like Star Wars has the potential to be the first primary world, right? And then the last one, and this one isn't this. I don't have any particular let me say it first, right? Marvel, in some way, shape, or form, Marvel is going to be showcased in Kingdom Hearts 4, but we still don't know exactly how, right? And this could be a multitude of things, right? We could see a completely original take on, the Avengers that people know most commonly, but they do it in a Kingdom Hearts style or a Final Fantasy style, Avengers. They could make their own completely original storyline based on, involving like the MCU Avengers, with Loki manipulating Heartless or something like that, or manipulating Quadratum to his liking. We could see a situation in which it's something more comic based. I don't know if they would do that because usually the comics are a lot darker. And also, I don't know how many of those comics were released post Disney era, but there's probably a lot, so it's hard to tell, right? But that could be a thing. It could be, that was another idea that I had. I don't know. It could be a lot. It could be MCU. It could be completely original. It could be comic based. Who knows? But another factor that I considered was Spider-Verse, right? Now, here's the thing, right? There's major Marvel movies releasing within this year and next year that they probably want to, talk about and showcase just a little bit, right? And even though this is more Sony than Disney, I think Spider-Verse does have a decent chance of being one of the major Marvel things that could be involved in Kingdom Hearts, right? I think Miles and Sora working together, Sora learning how to utilize the Keyblade Whip through Spider-Man would be the greatest thing. That would be the greatest thing this franchise could do, is teaming up Sora and Spider-Man and having him teach him, or give him the idea to use that whip, right? Because that's the thing about Sora. Sora learns, right? We have seen multiple times he will base attacks. What the hell? My ice broke. He will base attacks and movements and things like that on what he's seen from others, right? Prime example in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, when he saw Neku using flow motion for the first time, he pretty much instantly mimicked that with little to no issue, right? So he studied that and learned it instantly, right? And we had seen Sora multiple times within Quadratum utilizing the whip, or the chain of his Keyblade as a whip. And I feel like him swinging around Quadratum like that would have to be something that he learned from somewhere, and I think it's gotta be Spider-Man. It genuinely has to, which is why I really do think that one way or another, if it's MCU based or if it's comic based, completely original, or if it's Spider-Verse based, Spider-Man is going to be involved one way or another, and that is what they're going to be showcasing at D23, especially after the hype of, you know, Spider-Man Brand New Day releasing, right? And of course, obviously, we also need to consider, obviously, Avengers Doomsday coming out later this year, and they definitely want to put that in front of as many people as possible and make sure that people are hyped for it. Don't know what kind of presence it might have at D23. I couldn't imagine there is where they're going to showcase the next major trailer, but who knows? You know, I never know with them. I've never seen a full panel myself or anything, so I can't really say for sure what they would do. But one thing I can say is that if they want people to be excited for more Disney related content, specifically some of their biggest IPs in Marvel specifically, then I feel like an Avengers showcase for our first world would go bonkers, brother. It would go dummy. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, again, I'm okay with either. My preference is definitely towards Sora and Miles working together in Spider-Verse. I feel like that would be the most fitting and the most, I feel like, easily containable situation, especially because they could stylize it and have so much more fun with it than just doing an Avengers style one. But Avengers could be cool too. But I don't know. I feel like it's so weird. I don't know. I want to talk more about that in particular too. But, you know, overall, I think those are my big three there, right? If I had to pick one, I would probably lean towards Star Wars, if I'm honest. I would hope Marvel, but I would definitely lean towards Star Wars first. So that's where my head is at with that. But hey, I could be completely wrong. They could completely sideline me. And guess what? Treasure Planet's back, bitch. Who knows at this point? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to hold my breath too hard on it. I would just be grateful to see more Kingdom Hearts and maybe get some form of idea as to when we might be able to see this game based on what we see in this trailer. Because again, I do feel like this game is probably close to or getting close to completion. And it's about time that we finally saw some more stuff, right? And 2 trailers within the same year, oh my god, I'd be in heaven, right? So that's where my head is at, but I'm gonna leave it at that. So I'm passing the mic over to you, and I want you guys to tell me everything that you're thinking in the comment section below. Do you agree with my picks here? Do you think that one of these 3, or, you know, if you want to count my first 2, 5, could potentially be the one, you know, world showing up at D23 as our first world that we see for Kingdom Hearts 4? Do these make sense to you? Is this something that you would want to see? Or are you on the opposing side? These are not going to be the worlds that they show off. We're probably not even going to get a Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, and if we do, it's not going to be this. Tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I'm always going to be down there with you guys. But with that, yes, ma'am, it does appear to be skedaddle o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and do just that. I'd like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this here. And with that, I'm gone, so thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!
Doing donuts in a bin. I stay funky. Battle goes wherever I am. I stay funky. I don't know who's ready to spit. Just know you're going down with my 58 clips. I stay funky. Honey's taking back to the crib. I stay funky. Get the club popped off like pins. I stay funky. I don't know.